What up, y'all? We back. Forgive my Brooklyn with the up north check-in. I'm a little about a 1 minute early, but I'm expecting a couple of calls from a couple of dudes tonight. So we gonna do 10 to 10:30 with one brother. I'm not even sure the brother's name. I can't remember the brother's name, but he gonna call. We gonna try to see if we can coordinate it to get his kids on the live stream. So in case they got any questions or what have you. And then from 10:30 to 11, we go follow up with the brother David that has been on here in the past. But you already know what it is. The strike is potentially over. 2,000 plus correctional officers, correctional employees, because I can't say it was all officers. 2,000 plus correctional employees were fired. I don't know how they fulfilling those positions, if the National Guard is still in there or not. We'll find out. Maybe when David calls. Hold on. That's one of my calls right now. Let me check on that. Hold on 1 second. Hello?
Hello, 1 second.
All right. Hello? All right, hold on. Put your speaker. Hold on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the first brother. Do you want to identify yourself, brother, or not?
Yes. My name is Larry Cross.
Okay. And what?
Currently incarcerated at Wendy Correctional Facility.
Okay. Do you want to speak to what you're incarcerated for? How much time you're doing? This is all up to you.
Yeah, I'm incarcerated. I got 25 years for attempted murder.
Okay. And how much time you got in?
I've been incarcerated for a little over 10 years.
How old are you?
33.
33. Okay. So you've been in jail since you're about 23, 22, 23 years old.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So this is what we doing here. You familiar? We doing a check-in with the brothers and the sisters up north. We changing the narrative one story at a time. We just went through this. Y'all just went through this strike. Understand the strike is semi-over. 2,000 plus correctional employees were fired. So now we are on the other side of it. So I'm gonna post. Hold on, let me post the link in the chat for people to join. I know you might want to have your what's wrong with this thing? Okay, bro. I'm not gonna do too much talking. The floor is yours.
Yeah, it's just a lot. The stories on the news, and they trying to say it's way a lot worse than what it is. But in all reality, they making us look like animals by saying certain things about us. And it's ridiculous. In all reality, they're the ones that's causing the harm for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, I'm glad you said that, because suddenly on social media, we are suddenly seeing a lot of videos from inside of facilities, and it's always of inmates, doing something to each other or doing something to the police. We never see the police doing nothing to them. All of a sudden, we getting all these videos all over social media. It's like they're trying to create a narrative that guys are super violent. So from your perspective, how are things looking from the end?
It's every once in a while, certain things might happen and whatnot, but it's not like all the time thing. It's like they blow it up and make it seem like it's worse than what it is. As far as every once in a while, a little fight happens here or there, but it's not like that every day, all day. They really make it seem like that's all guys thrive on, and that's all we look forward to, and that's not the case.
Okay, so shed some light for the people. Let the people know what does a typical day for you look like. So you say you've been locked up what now? Almost 10 years?
Yeah, a little over 10 years since 2014.
Okay, so how shed some light for the people. Let the people know what does that look like from your perspective, man? As far as it being in there. Yeah.
Basically, the day starts usually about 6. Get up, just get ready to start the day, and then about 8 o'clock before this whole illegal strike thing, I'll go to program. I will be there from about 8:30 to about 11. Come back for the count for about an hour, then go back to program. program from about 12:30 to about 3. Then go outside eventually for about an hour and a half at night, and basically the day over about 9:30. It's time to log back in. So
Okay. So
it's pretty broken up.
let me ask you. During the strike, did you have National Guard in the facility that you're in?
Yes. They came here. I want to say a few days after the strike, about 4 or 5 days maybe.
All right. And what was the attitude of the National Guard, like as far as how they treated people that's
The
incarcerated?
National Guard, honestly, they were a lot more easy to deal with than actual officers in all reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that. That's why I wasn't sure, but I based on my experience in inside these facilities, I figured that there was a little easier to deal with.
Yeah, they would actually, talk to you. They were real respectful. And it was funny because the officers that were around the National Guard, now they want to try to be as respectful as them, when in our reality, that's not how they really acted on a regular day.
Absolutely. So what was the morale like amongst the prisoners? Like when y'all were getting news about things like when the brother in Marcy was killed and the brother in Mid-State was killed, how did that affect the population in general?
It honestly, to see it was one thing, but we all know that that's like a normal occasion. Like that's like normal, because they what they do is exactly what you see on that camera. That's what they do, and they used to get away with it all the time.
Absolutely. All right, so speak. Go ahead.
No, it hurt to actually see it. It definitely hurt to see that. It was definitely like it was sad. It hurt to see that. But we all heard stories about that happening all the time. But to actually see it was another thing.
All right, so speak to your personal journey a little bit. So I understand you have some children, you have a lady, like it's been over 10 years. Speak, how has this affected you, and how have you grown as a person, as a man, over the years, and how does this affect your relationship with your children? Let the people know. People are interested in this.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long journey. It's definitely been a long journey. The kids, they're a little older now, so they ask a lot of questions, and it's hard for them, but they kind of, they love me, they still accept me, so that makes me, a lot easier for the day to move on. But my wife, she's been there, every step of the way, so it definitely makes it a lot easier, when you got that support system, when you get out, that they'll be there for you, and it's just, I've definitely grown through this experience. So, been around some pretty good people. We're just learning and growing together, and just trying to stay in the right state of mind on a daily basis, and basically just keeping everything together. Making sure we all make it out of here in one piece.
Absolutely. Can you speak a little more to the importance of having that support system? Because a lot of people don't realize how important that is. Like, you get the whole out of sight, out of mind thing. And I try to explain to people all the time, like, if you have a loved one that's incarcerated, someone that's incarcerated, like, they need you to check for them. They need you to write them. They need you to accept a call every once in a while. Speak about that a little bit.
The support system, honestly, that's like everything, Without that support system, it definitely, like, it creates it's just not the same without that support system. Without it, it can make you like a different person. It'd be hard to really get through the day, and it's hard to really have those things to look forward to. But when you got that support system, it basically like it helps you, just get through the hard times, because this is definitely mental warfare. It really is. It's hard to just sit here, and if you don't have anybody to talk to reach out to. Somebody that just that one person that actually cares for you and you care for them, and it keeps you motivated to stay on the right track. But without that, it can definitely, it's tough. it can be real tough. You know, I see it. Some people, they don't have anybody. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. You know, I feel for them.
Yeah, so I mean, in your day-to-day activity, like, can you tell the difference sometimes between people who don't have any connection to the streets? Like, all right, so I'm gonna give you an example. I don't know if you know, like, I did 14 years myself, right? And I remember dudes that had, got locked up at young ages, 16, 17 years old, and had zero connection to the streets for 10, 15, 20 years. No contact with their family, no girlfriend, no homeboys, no nothing. And they were just different. You could tell they were different.
Right. They're very different. You know, they could be easily triggered. You know, they don't have that one thing to make them think twice about doing something, you know. And it's rough on them. You gotta have a different mentality sometimes, you know. And sometimes they need people, just somebody to talk to, you know. Just let them know that it's gonna be all right. It's hard. It's hard. They have a different mentality sometimes, and they don't really have that positive attitude sometimes. So that's where we step in and we try to talk to them. We just, be good day. You know, every day is a challenge.
Absolutely.
Every day can be a challenge. So, we just take it one day at a time. That's all we do.
And even that, like you and Wendy, you in that hub. I got my number in Wendy. I went to out of reception. I went to Wendy. I got my number, but I didn't stay there long. But my first stop was Attica, which is in the same hub. And I try to explain to people that even if you can't, accept a phone call, and the collect phone calls are way cheaper than they were. When I was in prison, a phone call was like $10. Now it's like $2. If it's $2, I don't even think it's $2. But just having that connection, could you speak? Like, I try to tell people, like, the people that don't get letters, don't get visits, don't get on the phone, the officers see that. And they prey on those dudes because they know ain't nobody looking for them. I try to explain that to people, but people don't seem to understand that.
They it sometimes they like when an officer they see somebody that they don't like, they gauge and they're like, okay, you know what? We can't really do what we want to do to this person because he could reach out to his family.
From this call and we'll call back.
All right, am I back up? Am I live?
Let me refresh. Hold on. Yeah, I can see you now.
Okay, I don't know what happened. This is the powers that be, y'all. The phone call and the live went out at the same time. I don't know if the DOCCS got somebody at YouTube that they hollered at him, was like, it was shut it down. But he's gone. His wife is on the phone. It looks like he's still on the phone. The live went down at the same time.
Right.
Hopefully he'll call back. If not, I do got the brother David calling at 10:30. We're gonna do that too. But I got the wife on the phone. Anything you want to say? You want to share what it is like from your perspective, your experience of having a husband and the father of your children incarcerated for all these years?
Yeah, sure. So honestly, it's a draining thing. That at the end of the day, you know, I made a vow to stick beside him, so I'm gonna continue to do so. It does take a toll on me and the children as far the family bond, how I'm around, dad can't be there, etc. You know. Oh, hold on, he's calling back. I'm
Okay.
gonna try to put him back.
Yeah, I think the Department of Corrections, they hollered at somebody at YouTube. They found out. Now, my brother David told me that the police hollered at him. They said, "We know you online. We heard about you. We listened to your stream." They're unlikely to shut him down because he got a couple of lawyers in play. He's been doing this for a minute because he's working on getting out of jail. Speaking of that, hold on, while I'm on here, he got a website. I wanted to say something about that. Where is it at? Hold on. I want to say it's freedavidcell.com. I'll tell you right now.
Okay, I think we back.
You back?
All right, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened. Your call dropped and the live stream dropped at the same time, so I feel like they on to us. But I don't know, what were we talking about when you got cut off? I don't even remember. I'm sorry.
Honestly, me either. That was unexpected, man. That was unexpected. But oh yeah, that's what it was. It's basically how they treat people, you know.
Yes, people that don't have no connection. Yes, they're more likely. I try to tell people, the people that haven't gotten a letter in 10 months, that ain't been on the phone, they see that, and they're more likely to take advantage of those people and hurt those people.
Absolutely, because they look at them like the easy marks, you know, something to get their satisfaction or get their fix, you know, and put the pain on it, you know. And they see that and they just, you know, they nitpick, you know, they might say little smart remarks, you know, or they might just message you just for no reason, you know, see you having some food and they might search your cell and just throw it away, you know what I mean, and knowing you that's all you have. And it's bad, man. I've seen some things, you know, man. And
yeah, absolutely. And for some reason, people in society don't seem to believe this, you know. And now that we getting all these videos on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok of all this violence on the inside, people are they buying into the narrative that, you know. And yes, don't get me wrong, it's a violent place. You can't lock up 500 to 2,000 men in a building for years at a time and think that, you know, the aggression is not going to build up the frustration. Things are going to happen, particularly when you have a staff that are antagonizing them, that are treating them less than men. So, you know, I spent about, in my 14 years in prison, I spent about, I want to say 6 years in NAP, which is Eastern New York Correction Facility. The majority of the time I was there, the superintendent was David Miller, and he had a very different perspective. His idea was, you know, you treat someone like a man, and they act like a man. You treat them like a child, you treat them like an animal, they act like an animal. And
absolutely,
the violence rate was next to nothing in that facility. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it when I got there. And the officers didn't agree. They used to be, I used to tell them all the time, like, you beefing, like you want to go to Attica, you can put in for a transfer. If you want to go up there where it's popping off, go. Because I've been there already. They don't get it. They think that, I don't know what they think. But that's why we doing this now. We changing the narrative. We want people to understand that these are human beings in prison. These are men, women, fathers, brothers, uncles, mothers, sisters, aunts. And what I try to tell people all the time is they all come home one day. And if you want people in prison not learning anything, not trying to better themselves, and then one day they open the doors and those same people got to live next door to you, what do you think is going to happen?
Absolutely. You got to rehabilitate. That's a good first step. You know? That should be the first step, rehabilitation.
And rehabilitation is not, the state is not interested in rehabilitation. You got to do that on your own. You have to seek that out. You have to want to be involved in programs, if school programs, if they got it, or whatever, vocational programs. Because actually all the jail is concerned with is the jail running smoothly. So the programs that most of the programs that they offer are programs that help you. You know, you want to get into plumbing, that's how you can do the plumbing in the jail, make the jail plumbing work smoothly. You know, that's all they're really concerned about.
It's understandable, you know, what you said, but as far as certain programs and certain jails, they don't have any programs. You know, I basically done all the programs that I can possibly do. And as of right now, they have no program for me to further my rehabilitation. And that's not right. You know, we were trying to get a college program here. They still don't have it. You know, we've been waiting for years for that. And, you know, anything just so I can further my rehabilitation to, you know, be ready and be prepared to get back into society. So that's like, they need to work on that, you know? There's nothing that this jail can offer me to further my rehabilitation. It has zero programs here. Like zero.
Yeah.
It's not a vocational. You can't do anything, and I've already done my vocational.
Yeah, I'm glad you spoke to that. Yeah, and I agree. Like when I was in prison, it was the same situation. You know, in a lot of facilities, it wasn't nothing to do but get in trouble, work out or get in trouble. I was fortunate enough to end up in NAP, the Eastern Correctional Facility, when the college program came in. I got involved, but in a lot of spots, that's not available.
Right.
I got a question. I got a question for my brother Battle Boy. He said, how are you able to sound so humble under such circumstances with the hostility and the violence and the police brutality? How are you able to maintain and sound so humble in spite of all that?
Honestly, like, I've been through so much in my life, you know what I mean? Like, and it's hard, like, you know, I've been through the system, you know, it's rough upbringing, you know, foster home and all that, and it's just, you know, I just know that I got so much to look forward to. You know, I got my kids. Honestly, I just had a baby, me and my wife, 10 months ago. Our daughter's 10 months.
Okay, congratulations.
You know? Yeah, thank you. We just had a child, you know, not too long ago, and you know, these are motivating factors. You know, I know that I got people that care about me, and you know, they waiting on me to get there. They want me to be there. So it's just, you know, it helps a lot. It's a big difference, you know, compared to somebody that doesn't have that support system. It's a big difference, and it helped me. You know, I wake up every day. That's what I look forward to. I talk to my wife all day, every day. Check on the kids, you know, talk to them about school, how important it is to get good grades, and I feel like, you know, they feed off that. So I gotta keep, you know, I gotta stay motivated, and I gotta keep going. You know, based off of that, you know, I gotta be there for them. You know.
Absolutely.
So that's my
speak to the FRP business real quick, because I know some people are going to be like, "What do you mean he just had a baby? He's been in jail for 10 years." So real quick, you got to break that down for them. How did y'all pull that off?
Okay, so basically the FRP is the Family Reunion Program, and you know, once you complete all of your programs and you stay out of trouble, like you haven't been in any trouble and anything like that, you can submit an application. And Albany reviews the application, and they, you know, they go through the process of reviewing it to make sure you're eligible. And once they approve you, then you and your family are allowed to spend about 48 hours together, about once a month, once every 2 months. You know, you're in a secluded area. You know, it's kind of like an apartment. You know, living room, 2 bedrooms, kitchen, refrigerator, bathroom. You know, it's a secluded area in prison where you and your family, you know, you and your kids, your wife, you spend time, you know, just family time to really strengthen the time that, you know, ties, you know, the family bond, you know. And yeah, you know, I was fortunate to be able to do that. You know, me and my wife, you know, we spent time, you know, before this illegal strike. spend time about once a month. And me, her, and the kids, we just cook, have fun, watch movies, play games, laugh, and we just spend the time having a good time together.
All right. And everybody doesn't get that. You have to be legally married, or you have to go out with your immediate family, mothers, brothers, sisters, uncles, stuff like that. And during the strike, did they suspend that? Was those what happened? What happened with visits and family reunion visits during the strike?
Yeah, the strike. Basically, the strike, shut everything down. We can't even get regular visits right now.
So you still don't have no visits, even though the strike is supposed to be over.
No.
There's still no visits.
No, still no visits. Still no visits. And they say maybe this weekend, March 23rd or a couple days from now. But as of right now, today, March 20th, still no visits.
Wow.
Yep, it's been over a month now. Over a month.
So and it's fortunate. What about the recreation? Are they letting y'all outside to the yard, stuff like that?
Well, as of the last 2 weeks, yeah, the first 2 weeks it was rough, but the last 2 weeks we been able to go outside, at least once a day to get air, work out, socialize, and it definitely helped a lot. That the first 2 weeks it was rough, like especially when you didn't do anything wrong, you just everything was normal, and then they just decided not come to work for whatever reason. Only they can answer that. So
yeah.
And in all reality, we don't know exactly what that was about. It was just something they just came up with, and they just decided to just go on an illegal strike. So.
Your wife said those FRPs be everything.
Yeah, it's fun, to play games, just laugh and joke and feel like a human again,
Absolutely. Trust me, I know. I remember them. It's a beautiful thing. Trust me, I know. And no, somebody said it, but no, everybody doesn't get them. Again, you have to be legally married. If you're not legally married, you can go out with your family, immediate family. I believe it's mother, father, sister, brother, grandparents. I think that's it that you can go on a trailer with if you're not married. And they definitely everything. It's unbelievable. And fortunately now y'all got the tablets. You're able to make phone calls from your cell. When I was in prison, you had to go to the yard to make a phone call. So if the yard wasn't open, wasn't no phone, wasn't no connection. So at least during this strike, y'all were able to stay in contact with your family.
Luckily that was a blessing, because I've been through lockdowns with no communication with your family or your loved one, and it's like you communication for weeks, and they wondering about you wondering about them, and it just creates a very, very, very bad hostile environment because you're stressed out, everybody's stressed out, and nobody really know what's going on with their loved ones,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been through that too.
People don't even realize the added stress that puts on an individual that's incarcerated and the family. It's not just the incarcerated individual, it's the family, it's the loved ones on the outside that are worried and concerned. It's particularly when you turn on the news and you see people dying in prison and you can't make contact. Because like I said, right now, y'all have the tablets where y'all can call from your cells. But everybody doesn't have a tablet. You got to be able to afford to buy a tablet. If you don't have nobody on the outside, a tablet may be too expensive for you. It's outside of your budget. So you may not be able to maintain contact with anybody.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a struggle every day. And it's just people. They might think like, they're in jail, everything's fine, but there's so many different factors that go into like the average day. You can take be minding your business, take a walk to the mess hall and just not come back. You be in the box for something you had nothing to do with.
In the box, in the hospital, if you could anything can happen.
You know, you just literally like you minded your business and you didn't do anything wrong. You walk to the mess hall and something happens. The next thing you know, you just got caught up in the middle of something that had nothing to do with you. And you know, it's a struggle every day. You know, you just gotta maintain and stay focused and try to do better.
Absolutely. All right, well, I mean, it's going on. It's 10:29, so I know they're gonna shout us out in a minute and say 1 minute, and David's supposed to call in a minute. I appreciate you coming on, brother. You're welcome to come on anytime you want. We trying to do this once a week. If you know any other brothers that want to come on and speak their piece, or if you happen to know any women in the female facilities that want to come on and speak their piece, I would appreciate that. But you're welcome anytime. Just shout me out. Your wife got my number, or you can let David know to let me know. I'll shoot you a message on the app so we can stay in contact. And again, we trying to change the narrative, one story at a time. We trying to let people on the streets know that the people on the inside is men and women. Look, that's David calling me on the other line now, man. So I appreciate you calling, man. And definitely love to you and the family, man. Peace, man. Take care.
All right, thank you. Peace.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse. Preventing suicide is important. If you have concerns during this call, please contact the individual's facility to communicate with them. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
What's up, my brother?
Peace. What's going on?
Hey, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me? I'm good on this?
Yeah, it's a little muffled, but you're pretty clear. That sounds crazy. A little muffled, it's pretty clear. Whatever. It's a little muffled, but we can hear you. I think we can hear you. If y'all having a problem hearing him, please let me know in the comments, y'all. What's going on? We was just talking to your man on the other line.
Yeah. I'm sure you got an update, but one thing I'm trying to recognize. I spoke to you 2 weeks ago, right? So it's been a 2-week period. 2 weeks ago, this was the main topic. Everybody was speaking about it. What's going on? When are we getting business back? What's up with the program? What's going on with business services? Right? Today, nobody's talking about that. And I recognize that. Nobody's watching the news. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's asking about shit. And that's mainly because people present are with the problem.
The sound.
It's so transformative.
Hold on.
It's so transformative. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the sound was getting a little messed up. It's like an echo. Yeah.
But watching the news and watching what's going on, and we losing everything. That's not placing hope with you. So when you're losing hope, you detach yourself from certain situations that's placing that feeling within. So now people are looking for a hope, or we're thirsting for hope. And that's not looking like anything that could be afforded within these worlds right now. We know everything. The hope is not coming from anything that could be afforded to us from within these worlds. The hope people are looking for now is passing over there. Something that's going to give an individual some hope or some relief in getting home sooner to get away from this. Because it's too much. And, we mask it well. Somebody told me this the other day that I mask everything that I'm going through well. And that's not helpful. And
It's
you
not.
see it. People's dispositions are changing. People aren't pleasant anymore. people are in their cells. And it's like, you know, at some point, man, they have to pivot. They have to pivot in a way that's conducive for the prison population. They have to make some accommodations, not just for a few people or for one group, but for the whole population.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's to a point where, you know, just speaking about it brings like this residual effect that we felt during COVID. So it's like COVID all over again. And that was a bad time here. That was a bad time. Even during COVID, we were looking for some type of getting some type of bill passed. I think, you know, during COVID, they were talking about the elderly parole bill, which would have afforded like the older prison population, 55 and up, an opportunity to get to the parole board and start releasing these older men. Right? And there was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk that it was going to be voted on, and people watching the news every day. And I remember being in the day room, and there was an older gentleman watching, and the news came on, and they said, even during COVID, they didn't place that bill on the floor for a vote. They held it back. And you know, that man, I'm not going to say he cried, but tears came down that man's face. And I couldn't believe it. Because, you know, men in prison do not like to be vulnerable.
Absolutely.
That, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to see a lot of men crying in prison, which is also unhealthy. And when I see that, I will never forget that. Because what happened was, he showed his emotion. And I know a lot of men were feeling the same way, right? But hope was taken from that man. So we're back in that same situation. Like, we can't win it here. You know, they start crying about something. They start saying, you know, we need to change this, change that. It gets changed. We lose everything. Packages, we lose everything. So now our hope is being placed back in some type of legislation that provides us with what we need to get home to our family. Even for those who don't have no family, just to, you know, get away from this type of environment that is not conducive to personal growth. We're going backwards. Dude, we're going backwards right now. It's setting us back. It may set guys back 2 years. It may set some back 3 years. The women too. It may set some people back 5 years. It may set somebody back 10 years if he was clean for 10 years and relapse.
Yeah.
Because of the stress, because of the depression. So, you know, there's layers to this. I've been around a long time to understand body language in prison. You know that body language is everything in prison. And to give, and it's hard to give your all to individuals who need it, because you're trying to hold on to something yourself to keep you going through your day. But one thing I understand is that you'll never know what a man is going through, because we don't express ourselves like that. You just have to put yourself in that man's situation. If he has children, all right, and I know he's going through it. I had children. When I came in 28 years ago, I had younger children. I've never been through a situation like this, or been through a COVID situation. So now it's like, you know, you don't know what to expect. And when you don't know what to expect, and you just living day by day, idle, that's a bad recipe. It's a recipe for disaster. You know, I'm big on two things: hope and rehabilitation. An effective form of rehabilitation. And when you've been around a long time, you know, I have some think tanks with some of the other brothers that been around. And it just, to us, it seems like, man, this is an easy thing. If you really support rehabilitation, if you really want to extend humanity towards the incarcerated, this is an easy fix. The New York State is one of the most progressive states in this country. We haven't touched the prison system yet. Those bills have been passed. You can go online and see hundreds of bills. They won't pass these bills, and bills that make sense. Bills that are supported by statistics. The older prison population has the lowest recidivism rate. People with 15 years and up have the lowest recidivism rate. Men and women convicted of manslaughter and murder have the lowest recidivism rate. But we're not touching the back end yet. Like, so, once a man or woman is rehabilitated, they get to the apex of that, right? Further incarceration is only going to damage that person. And let's not forget the families, too. The families.
Hold on, that's my brother Battle Boy calling. I'm gonna add him to the call so he can hear you and talk to you. Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you on? Can you hear him, Dave? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hear everybody.
All right. You had a question. What's the question you wanted to ask him about expressing ourselves?
I wanted to know, what was what's the big deal as far as not expressing ourselves? You mentioned something as far as body language being everything in there, and dudes not expressing themselves. So what's the big deal on why we don't express ourselves? Right. Because it seems not to cut you off. It seems like you're expressing yourself freely, and you're speaking eloquently up here. So it's what's a defense mechanism to shut it down to not express yourself? That's right. So for me, I don't have an issue being vulnerable. Yeah. And that started when I started doing a lot of public speaking in prison. I started mentoring youth. I had to get more. Big years of responsibility, even with that, right? I have to be comfortable with that, so I don't have a problem being vulnerable. Yeah. It's part of our culture. It's part of our culture not to show weakness. And in a lot of men's eyes, crying is showing a weakness. That's true. Yourself is showing a weakness. Telling somebody that, some type of trauma that you're dealing with growing up is a weakness. Because prison is built around masculine images. That's what prison is built on. So we need some of the older brothers, the brothers are expected to become vulnerable and let people know it's all right. It's all right to express yourself. It's all right to cry. I remember one time I was an addict, and I had just came back from a program. Feeling good, right? I got on the phone. And I don't tell a lot of people this story, but like I said, I don't have a problem being vulnerable. Yeah. I get on the phone with my wife. My wife tells me, David, call your parents. The way she said it, I knew something was wrong. So, what's going on? She was like, just call your parents. I said, Keisha, just tell me what's going on. And at any point, they'll go on when I end up this phone, and I don't want to go with myself, not know what's going on. Yeah. She told me my brother was gone. My brother was gone. He was dead. And I remember crying. So I was in a phone booth. We had phone booths in that, crying, right? And I wouldn't leave that phone booth until I wiped my tears and got myself together. Yeah. And I'll beeline to myself, close my face, pull my curtain up, and put my face in a pillow and cry. So because he feels that crying is showing weakness. My father today, ironically, and this is is learned behavior. You know what I mean? My father told me today, he said, when he was at my grandma's funeral with his mother, he almost cried, and his cousin grabbed his hand and told my dad, not here. Wait till later. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, that's what you should have did. But this is part of our culture. This is how we're raised. A lot of our values come from our parents. And I never see my father cry. So it was learned behavior. But now I know it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people in prison that don't understand that.
Yeah.
They can't understand. You know, it's just the culture. We was talking about how do you change your culture?
That's a fact.
So let's change the culture. Go ahead, bro.
By you making that point, right? And it's not only something that, you know, it's a situation as far as like brothers being locked up. You got brothers that's outside in the free world that let their kids know or let their young sons know, like, you know, be a man, or a man ain't supposed to cry, or you're a big boy now, like, you know, and they're 6 years old. Like, what type of message would you say to those guys that aren't woke to the fact that by those kids not being allowed to let those emotions run through in the moment that they feel the need to do so? How is it that we can speak to the father figures to get through to them, to let them know, like, it's not a sign of weakness? Like, what can be done?
Mm-hmm. So the first thing I would do is tell the father that this may be how he was raised, right? This is what you know. But then I would expect them how, and most of that is to examine the child. Because now a child is totally in emotion, right? So if the child is totally in emotion, I can only imagine what really needs let out or seek about something about a sensitive topic. They're gonna hold that in because I fear being judged. So you don't want to do that. You're only gonna damage your child. You want your child to be open. You want your child to express emotions and feelings and what they're going through. And this to create a bond like none other. But we have to learn this. We have to teach this. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to be a father. I'm still learning how to be a husband.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So we can never get to the point where we're grown men. I tell people, I'm not a grown man. I'm a grown man. Every day is an opportunity for all of us to grow.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
But I appreciate those questions, man, because, you know, our babies, you know, that's our future. And right now, man, they need us. They need mentors. There's too many fathers in prison. So my sons grew up without a father. You know, they was raised by women. I mean, so in that aspect, you know, I could say personally, I failed them. Because you can only have so much influence behind the wall. So, you know, it's layers to this. I remember there's layers to this. It's layers to this, man. But the first thing we have to do is, you know, we have to make adjustments ourselves.
No
so
doubt.
That we could be that father figure that any child may need. So we could be mentors. So we could, you know, grab a kid that needs to hear that, listen, it's all right to be vulnerable. It's all right to cry. It's all right to express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How many children are really hearing that from our community? Think about it. Like, how many kids are really hearing that type of advice from our community? Not a lot. So now they're growing up with something to prove. Now they're growing up where, you know, they feel like they have to be super aggressive and active. And that's their mission of being a man.
mean, I definitely appreciate your response. I do want to I want to let you know, like, you know, like, don't be so hard on yourself saying that, you know, you're a failed father, whatever the case may be, bro, because you'll be surprised how much of your presence is probably or more than likely felt than the actual individual that's in the free world doing a whole lot of nothing with themselves, bro. So do allow yourself some grace, though, you heard, bro?
I appreciate that. What's your name?
They call me Battle Boy, you heard?
Battle Boy. All right.
No, absolutely. I would have to agree with that because, like, Dave, you know, like I got a 30-year-old son. I went to prison when he was 2, and I came home when he was 16. And over the course of that 14 years, I saw him twice. And I was surprised at the way that I was able to communicate with him at 16 years old. Even now today, he's 30 years old now. He get on my nerves. I hope you're watching it. He get on my nerves, but I love him. I came home expecting the worst. I came home expecting him not to want to talk to me and him not to want to deal with me, but it was just the opposite. And not that it's going to be that for everybody, but you know, the efforts that I mean, not little efforts, I'm not even going to minimize them. The efforts that I made over the 14 years to reach out to him, to communicate with him, whatever, he recognized it. And we have a great relationship today.
There you go. That's a beautiful thing, and I think once you came home, he recognized that, you know, it wasn't dad that just like, hey, it's the situation he was in. You know, him being in prison. You know, I have some relationships that I have to, you know, I definitely have to rebuild, and hopefully, you know, that'll be the same for me. That it's not me. You know, sometimes even with my wife, I tell my wife, listen, it's the situation that's surrounding our marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because 28 years, you know, you tend to, you know, outgrow your situation.
Yeah.
And recognize, I recognize I got a job to do. And I'm ready to get to it. I got to be a husband. I got to be a father. I got to be a grandfather. I got to be a son. I got to be a provider. I got a community to work with. So I recognize I have a job to do, and I'm ready for that. And when you're ready for that, that brings upon a whole other level of frustration. On top of the frustration of being in prison and navigating the prison, now you're dealing with a whole type of another frustration. And then what we're going through right now. So it's like, yo, they're just piling it up. And they're not understanding this because they're not speaking to us. So we got so much to do. Everybody talks is different during time.
Yeah.
And there's a saying for change to occur, voices need to be heard. Everybody's voice. And hope got to be loud. Hope can't be a whisper. That's for anybody.
No doubt.
Incarcerated for those out there. They got to speak loud.
I'm glad you spoke to that too. I want to say something to like dudes. Don't think that that transition is easy because you got a wife or a girl up north. I wish my wife was down here in the basement right now and she could tell you how over the last year, I don't know how long I've been home. I came home in 2011. How many times she wanted to kill me? Like this is not the transition is not easy. B. We on the inside and we think we know what it is to be out here and to go through life day by day and why you don't do this and why you can't do that. And we have no idea. And coming home and transitioning to being a husband, to being a father, to just being the man of the house, it's extremely difficult. And a lot of us don't make it through that transition. The unity, the couple doesn't make it through that transition.
And this is why we got to funnel ourselves into circles that include you. You've been through that. Right? So you got these young kids coming in there, and we're making sure that they do. We're letting them know what to do, what not to do, how to move. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with us old timers. For anybody that's married and get any type of time. Listen, a year in prison is a lot of time. But when we get out there, we need brothers like you to let us know, listen, bro, these are the struggles that
you're going to encounter. And this is what I encountered, and this is how I dealt with it. And you still get your life. So, there's stages to this. And the transition has to be met with individuals that have credibility. So my transition has to be met with a brother like you who's been through that situation. You did a lot of time, you came home, and you worked it out. You figured it out.
We still working it out. We still figuring it out. Almost 14, 15 years later, we still figuring it out. We still working. Every day we figuring it out. Every day we working it out.
But that just show a lot about you, is that you willing to figure it out. You want to figure it out. That's right. You know what I mean? Too many times, just chase your pistol now. Oh, this is what it is, and when we come home, we gotta figure it out. You got to try. So I'm gonna keep that too. I'm gonna keep that out when I get out there, Brian.
No, absolutely. Whatever I can do, man, I'm here, man. It's not all peaches and roses out here, but we here, man. We making it through.
Yeah, and as long as you stay connected, definitely with like-minded individuals and those that did a lot of time like you've done or whatever. A lot of the brothers is pretty much like situated and got their feet planted in certain programs, or maybe have their own businesses or whatever. So as far as like work, that probably wouldn't be the hardest thing to come across. But again, just like you just transitioning from a cell or a dorm to seeing how fast the world is moving, is almost like you've been walking on foot and you see a roller coaster moving. You just try to jump on a seat and hope that you seat buckle yourself in and not fall over. Like, it's that type of a transition. So you just gotta pretty much like take your time, feel your way through, man. Lean on your support. I would advise, therapy on the go home, which
absolutely. A lot of people don't do that.
Something wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And it's not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. I've come to learn that later on, but but network. You got a lot of brothers. I'm sure you came across a lot of brothers that did a lot of time, that came home or whatever. And it's a lot of us out here that still out or whatever, doing what we need to do to stay out for the most part, man. As long as you connected with two, you got a support system out here, bro.
Yeah, you my brother. Like, I know now that we talking about that, a lot of people might not understand the history. So Dave and I met in the Erie County Holding Center in Buffalo in 1997. We was the only two New York City dudes in the Buffalo County Jail at the time. And I want to say the police was like, you know what, I'm gonna put you two dudes together because y'all is always in some nonsense. And he's been my brother ever since, man. we was in Attica together. We got split up. We never lost contact. And it is what it is, man.
Wow.
And what really touched my heart, bro, is you went home and I didn't even know that you was coming to visit me. You pulled up on me, right? I met a lot of you. I'll never forget that.
I'm trying to come see you again. Yeah, you was in Attica when I came to see you. I'm trying to come see you again. That's just a little far, but I'm trying to get up there. Life is life, and it's not a whole lot of free time. I want to tell brothers that too. Like, don't think you're gonna get out here. You're gonna have all. It's not enough time in a day. When you locked up, you got more than enough time. You figuring shit out. It ain't enough time in a day out here, man. Life is life in every day.
Right. That's a fact.
Yo, Dave, you remember Juan? He's so stupid. He in the comments. He said, "Did you cry?" He said, "Keep it real. Did you cry when I came to see you?" This dude is crazy. Juan, and that's my dude. Juan and I we know each other separately. So I know Juan from Caxsaki. We was in Caxsaki together in I want to say 99. That was 99, 2000. And then he met you later after Cat said he went up to Attica, Wendy, and whenever he met you.
So what? He still owes me 2 bags of bags for juggling at the store.
You hear him, Juan? Get them chips to my man, son. What's going on?
And but listen, let me hit my wife up before this phone. My last click. I got to get it with my wife. Say goodnight to my baby. It's Thursday.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I love you, bro. And we here next week. We back in. If you know anybody else want to jump on, let me know. All right, peace, man. Love you, man.
The caller has hung up.
All right, Fizzy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
All right, so we wrapping it up. Y'all here? It's Up North check-in. Again, we changing the narrative one story at a time. Tune in, share the live, like the live, tell your peoples about the live. This is what we doing, man. We got to change the narrative. We got to look out for the brothers and sisters that's up north because they all come home one day. And we need them to come home in the right mindset and the right spirit in order to be productive and to be there for their family, man. That's what we need.
That's a fact. It's stay woke or wake up. That's
Absolutely.
where we at with it right now.
Stay woke or wake up, man. So we here. Thank y'all for joining us. And we be back next week, man. Peace.